give you $100 tickets to make sure you're safe. The government wants to keep you safe.
Ramped up and rowdy.
Don't even worry about it. The government's here to help you. They're making sure you're safe on the road.
Over red light cameras.
We're basically being convicted and then having to prove our innocence, which is exactly the opposite of the sort of justice system that this country is founded on.
Greg Bowen and about a dozen other protesters want the cameras banned. They waved signs and shouted at Waters and Dale Mabry in Tampa, one of 6 intersections in Hillsborough that has them. Similar protests were held all around the Bay Area and all around the state.
It forces you to waive your constitutional right to face your accuser. Your accuser is an inanimate object. The 60-day provision on the citations forces you to waive your right to a speedy trial.
When the person just pulls beyond the line, just a tag gets zapped, or doesn't quite clear the intersection in time, or there might be a situation where he cannot make a safe stop. And then there should be an officer there at officer's discretion at that point.
And local governments get a big chunk of the change.
Bottom line, this is a revenue-generating tool, and basically, civil liberties be damned.
Deborah Bowden, Fox 13 News.
Dubbed Big Brother, 19 cameras keep watch over 12 intersections in Collier County. The red light cameras have been up since April of 2009. Too long for some.
We think that one day was too long. It's time to take them down.
Who tonight, with signs in hand, are rallying to ban the controversial cameras. Already, Senate Bill 672 is pushing through the state legislature. And if it passes, it will eliminate red light cameras and the whopping $158 fine if you're caught on camera running them.
Sometimes it can be a little frustrating when they flash at you when you don't even know you're not even moving.
The cameras have drawn controversy since lawmakers passed legislation last year allowing counties and cities to install the devices. Now, just a year later, lawmakers are voting on bills that could wipe them out, and those in favor of that are making sure they're heard loud and clear.
We're not against safety, we just want common sense measures in place.
As they move full speed ahead with a campaign to ban the cams, the bill has already passed the Senate Transportation Committee.
And tonight, many of those opponents gathered at intersections around the Bay Area and around the state to protest them. Our Chris Martinez joins us now live with more on that. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Wendy. And this here is the corner of Dale Mabry and Columbus. This is one of those corners that is supposed to get those cameras in the coming months. And tonight, protesters who are against these cameras say they are willing to do whatever they need to do to make sure they don't come here or anywhere else.
Ask anyone here holding a sign how much safer red light cameras make our streets, and you won't find one that says they do. But that doesn't matter anyways, since they say these cameras are really only about one thing.
I think it's all about the money.
Bill Hager wasn't part of this planned protest, but pulled over when he read this group's signs. Like them, he thinks the cameras are just a way for government to collect millions in fines, and Bill is one of the drivers that's already had to pay. But even with that admission, he doesn't think these cameras do any good. Opponents call them unconstitutional, some even saying they're a traffic hazard.
People stop ahead of the red light, rear-end crashes.
Wait till they put a GPS in your car, and every time you go 1 mile over the speed limit, here's a $150 speeding ticket, chief. It ain't about safety. It's about money.
And that protest in Tampa was one of many held not only in our area here, but across the state of Florida tonight. And up in Tallahassee right now, there are a couple of bills making the rounds that would outright ban the use of these red light cameras. It's unclear, though, if those bills are actually going to make their way for a vote this session. We're live tonight in Tampa. I'm Chris Martinez, ABC Action News.
A group of protesters want to put a stop to cameras at red lights. Motorists across Brevard encourage other drivers to honk against red light cameras during afternoon rush hour rallies in Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, and Palm Bay. In Brevard County, Palm Bay, and Cocoa Beach, police issued nearly 11,000 camera-generated tickets last year.
I'm the organizer for the Brevard 912, and we are trying to bring back our Constitution. So the red light cameras are unconstitutional. You have a machine that's giving you a ticket, and you have no recourse to dispute the machine.
Contrary to popular belief, it's not really about safety. This is used as a revenue raiser for local municipalities and for the state. And so when they put these in effect, typically the infractions, the actual people running the lights, the numbers go up, not down.
Right now in Orlando, a small but vocal group is protesting the city's red light cameras. It's one of 15 simultaneous protests statewide against the use of red light cameras.
but there is a vocal group of people who say that cameras should go.
And that it's more about money than safety.
Scott Over represents one of a dozen groups statewide pushing for the repeal of red light cameras.
You're innocent until proven guilty, unless you run a red light.
Over pointed to a 2008 USF study that linked red light cameras to increased crashes due to abrupt stops. Jason Boyd told me if cities really want to improve safety, they don't have to write tickets like Orlando's $158 fine for running a red light.
If you increase the yellow lights at these intersections, if you increase the pause between the next green.
Orlando splits its money from red light fines with the state, and I'm told that it does have roughly $2 million in an escrow account untouched because they're saving that money to defend against challenges to its red light cameras. Live here in Orlando, Melanie Holtz, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
As Melanie mentioned, state lawmakers are trying to ban red light cameras now statewide less than a year after making them legal.